What does a sketchbook look like inside after 42 years of drawing? Check it out.
This is a freaking true story.
Hello friends, hey, welcome to my first long form video. This is going to be a walk through this sketchbook, one of my favorites. I'll open that up in just a second, but in the meantime I have many sketchbooks. Now this is a few of them, but these are from the past few years. And they come in various forms and sizes. I tend to like the smaller sizes as opposed to the bigger ones, and I'll tell you why. So look at that one, there's that one. Put a nice little sticker on there to sort of make the sketchbook cool. Now my friend has made me these kinds of sketchbooks. These are out of Epson heavyweight paper. Really, really cool, but look at all of that. Look at that. This is a really cool sketchbook. The reason why this is so killer and so helpful is because you're drawing and sketching tiny. Whenever you start making big choices like this bad boy, now things start becoming way more complex. Now I bought this one at the Louvre, and I drew in the Louvre with this one, Louvre Sketch Thursday, and this sketch got out of hand. Why? My personal opinion is too big. So I ended up, doing other studies, but you can see it's fine, right? These are cool little things, but they end up being a little too large. You start committing and thinking in a different way than you would with a smaller bad boy. Check this out. So my friend also made me this one. Check this out. Look at this. Look at the zoom here. Let me see here. Thomas Fluharty. Jeff Shelley, the real deal, my pal. He made me this bad boy. Look how cool this is. This is all out of Epson heavyweight paper, premium stock. You draw on both sides of this bad boy. And he gave me a nice little 901 Indigo Blue pencil. Check that bad boy out. 901 Indigo Blue, my favorite pencil. There's other sketchbooks that I have. This was an Indigo Blue sketchbook that was like, basically, it was like this cool little Indigo Blue book. But one of the things I found about this was, and a helpful tip is that the paper is fairly cheap, and it affects your drawing when the paper is cheap. And so I realized at this point I will never draw and give myself a bad sketchbook or a weak sketchbook, because I want to invest in myself and I want to make this sketchbook of quality. Even though my sketches might be off, some of them might be perfect, some of them might be great, some of them might be half-baked. That's always going to happen. But I realized at that time I will always invest in good quality. This would be a perfect example of a nice moleskin. Very solid, very solid. So I'll flip through these at another point. And the last I have is some of these bad boys. Again, back with the personalized Epson heavyweight paper sketchbook. Really, really killer. All right, here's the expensive one. Look at this bad boy. All made out of leather. I think I bought this in Vienna. It's all of these pages that are absolutely insane. This is a sketchbook tour in and of itself, which I will do at some point. But the problem with this sketchbook is that every page becomes like I have to commit. I have to make something awesome. And it made me a little nervous. So I'll work through this sketchbook on future posts. But anyways, let me jump in now with one of my favorite sketchbooks, which has really cool imagery in it, and I'll show it to you. So here is one of my favorites, and I think it's one of my favorites because it has some really cool sketches in it. So this is a moleskin, and I'm just gonna go ahead and open it up and introduce you to it. All right, my friends, this is all warts and perfection and half-baked. You'll see misses, you'll see home runs. Not a brag, we hit home runs sometimes. And you'll just see as average on every page, this is the real deal. No editing, this is the book, all right? Thanks, guys. Okay, before we begin, almost every drawing in there was drawn with the 901 Indigo Blue, the Prismacolor 901 Indigo Blue, or one of my favorite ink pens is the Pentel Technica Hybrid. This is it, the Pentel Arts Hybrid Technica. I draw with a 3, a 5, or an 8. And these pens are amazing. They're archival. They don't fade. Anyways, let's jump in. I always sign my sketchbooks. I started this 2023 to 2024. I always fill out my name here. I start date as a reward, $1 million. And as Pee Wee Herman says, you don't need a reward. So this was a study off of the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, one of my favorite paintings there. And I'm just gonna go ahead and keep moving through. Keeping that pace, or that vibe with, this was from the Louvre again, actually from the Musée d'Orsay. It's a birthday sketch that I did on December 26, 2023. But you can see how I use this page as well. Every page is valuable. And then I kept the museum vibe going. And I had a sketch here of somebody that I took a guard at maybe it was in a museum guard in the Met in New York City. So this is, again, a birthday sketch I'm drawing. This is with a brown pen. I'm not really sure what pen it was. Again, these are just pics that I'm taking as I'm in the Met. This is actually the National Gallery in London, and it's a security guard. But you can see, it's just, I love seeing how someone thinks. As somebody said, it's like the nervous system of that artist. You're really observing their nerves and how bravado or how timid they are. It's really pretty dang cool. This was another sketch. I think what I did on this was my mentality here is I had a picture as I'm at these museums. I always notice people, the way that they pose and stand and look at art. So I took her picture, and then I wanted to put another picture inside of this frame. And so this was something from maybe from Waterhouse that I just combined them both where they both looked and where they're both looking at each other. But this is called The Look. It's from the Louvre 2023. Again, this is, I'm not sure of the artist here. I can't remember. Maybe it's, I can't remember. These are some Zorn studies. And again, I put myself into this scene and create a story, because story is everything. Story is gigantic. People love stories, but as opposed to just a sketch, all of a sudden I have this larger than life kind of situation happening. Again, more Zorn studies. But this is a girl that I took a picture of at the Musée d'Orsay. And then I put her in this scene because I just thought it was so stinking cool. So again, Zorn study. Why? Because I want to understand Zorn, so I'm studying Zorn. And then as I did that, I realized, keeping with the main vibe that I've been doing in a museum, she's walking past. Again, this is a Jean-Auguste Dominique Ang study. This is a study of more Jerome. This was Carpetbaggers in Minneapolis. But I feel like I lost this sketch, so I'm going to go back and redo it, and you'll see it'll come up. So this is some mark making under Zorn that I'm doing. I love Zorn, and I just wanted to sort of take one of his photos and just sort of jump off of it. I don't feel like it's handled that well, but that's okay. That's what my sketchbook is for. It's to make mistakes or make half-baked moves and marks that don't line up necessarily. But I'm not trying to put a lens or a filter on anything. Again, more Zorn, and I had a picture of myself doing something like this. Maybe I even posed for it, right? January 4th, 2024. This is Leonardo. Just thought, hey, what if I put a cigarette in his mouth? Coming back to the Carpetbaggers, or the Carpet Merchants, Jean-Léon Jerome. This sketch I handled better. I left certain elements of the painting out just so we could see both of these faces better, but that was with a brown pen. This is a Jerome study of Jerome himself. Amazing artist. And then I just did some Heinrich Kley studies. I'm very familiar with Heinrich Kley, and I just took some of his drawings and just sort of jumped into them, just sort of felt them and rubbed. It's basically you're running your hand over these artists, trying to sort of catch their vibe, catch catch their life or their spirit. So that's really what it is. It's just a study off of him. I like this little silhouetted girl here. That's pretty cool. So these spark ideas in paintings, you know, they really do spark paintings as I do little studies like this. Like I really dig this dog here, so I might come back to this dog. But this was from Vivian Maier. She's another great photographer you might want to look into. Amazing artist. I mean, amazing photographer. Amazing story. Again, more Vivian Maier studies. Same thing here, more Vivian. We need more Vivian! Look at that, Vivian Maier. She was a nanny, a professional nanny her whole life, shooting pictures of New York City. Finally, when she died, somebody found a bin full of her negatives and found out she was a genius photographer. So these are other little studies of like Hellboy. I think I was doing something for Hellboy. I was gonna do a Hellboy show or something. And I just open up my sketchbook and just start drawing from photos and drawing from Hellboy reference. And I just want to get a vibe. I want to get a feel. I think, but this was definitely for a show that was coming up in LA that I was invited into a Hellboy show, but it never turned into a painting. But I wanted to. I think this was maybe the 30th year of Hellboy. But I have this little tiny kitty there. It says here, lit up a little, hitting the bottom of the kitty. So those are notes from me. Again, we take them back to these ideas. They're not pretty, but look at this real quick. I love this hand right here. So there are jewels in this thing that I dig and that I want to come back to and think about and remember. Really, really cool stuff. Blank page, whoa. But these are Caravaggio studies. I think I was getting ready to do a Caravaggio show. I was invited into this Caravaggio show in Denver, and so I was just studying Caravaggio. What makes Caravaggio Caravaggio? Same thing, you know, like that's what this is exactly. Just playing off of him, spending time with Caravaggio, trying to get it figured out. Like, who is Caravaggio? What is he doing? And then I'm obviously turning it into myself. But anyways, that's how you want to do it. You want to just kind of draw over their drawings and study them. Now, all of a sudden, I'm in Denver for the show, February 3rd, 2024. And I'm just at, I think I'm eating somewhere. I can't remember where, but these are quick studies with a brown Pentel. Now I'm getting ready to do a Buffalo Bill show in Texas, I think it was. So I want to do studies on Buffalo Bill. But I'm in Denver, and I'm getting ready as I'm at an airport, waiting, thinking about this next show, just doing studies of Buffalo Bill. I wanted to do a Buffalo Bill poster, so I started designing and playing around with these various ideas of what it would look like. And again, now I'm playing around with different ideas of Bill, you know, William Cody's his name. And like, I like this little thing here. But as I design this poster, you can see that I have these ideas that are starting to come together, and I'm starting to design, and I'm working on type ideas right here, you know. And here's another one here. Like, these are not going anywhere, but they're helping me to get my footing, basically. Here's a really cool sketch that I really dig a lot. Like, I still like this sketch a lot. I like it a lot. That's killer. Not a brag. I just say that's killer when I come back and go, yeah, that's cool. I like that. So again, you know, other studies of the horse, but I really dig this. I might come back to this. I might put it in a painting. I might develop it further, but I definitely remember I like that. Same here, taking it into a character design, just simplifying it. Other horse studies here. This was probably a study off of a character designer that I really love. What was he doing? And then I brought that main concept over into my sketch. So I'm always inspired by those around me. I'm not inventing the wheel. Again, I'm somewhere. I'm not sure. March 5th. I'm up in. I think I'm flying or doing something. I don't know. I'm somewhere in my studio. I think for warm-ups, and I had some really cool photo reference on Joni, and I just decided to do her as a study. This was, again, back to Petit Palais in Paris. There was a really cool painting I did of Jesus. And again, I want to put myself in there and really feel this vibe. Again, right here, Petit Palais. She took a picture of this dude, had a picture of this, combined them both together. They sort of interact. All of a sudden, I have a really cool image. Again, now I'm back on Buffalo Bill. I'm not filling up this page. I probably should, but you get the idea, right? Like this is just a study off of a photo, but I like that. I like the silhouettedness of everything going on the far left of his body. I went to the Shrine Circus here with my grandsons, and we're watching. Here's a camel. Here's another little camel outline shape that was probably blind contour. Here's an elephant. But again, these are all things that are just sort of firing me up, you can see. But these are cool little studies, you know. They're just really cool things you can jump off of. Like if I painted that in oils all of a sudden, it might be something, right? I'm not sure what this was, but again, just a study. I didn't date it. We should probably date everything we do. These are other little studies that I've done here. This one here was on an airplane sketch. I'm flying to Italy in 2024. This was off of Bouguereau. I went to a Bouguereau show. I had this photo, and then I'm just playing around with shapes. Also wanted to do my pal, one of my favorite artists, Pascal Campion. Again, just giving myself setups on the plane so I'm not just sitting there stupidly watching a movie, but I'm able to draw and design and discover and explore. These are, I'm in Loveland, Ohio now, and it was at a farm, so I just love these, the rooster, the horse's legs. I'm doing studies on what goes on from their ankles down to their, from their heels down to their ankles. It's very complex, but I'm still figuring that out. Different design shapes. And then this was me actually in Italy, I think, drawing one of my friends there that I met. But again, that's a cool shape. I like this sketch. This probably was a bird. I am in Italy now. I'm in Venice. Here we are. This was a drawing sketch from a couple that was there. Quick sketch, live, very fast off of this caricature artist. And then my buddy and I went and drew in, I think it was somewhere in Venice, Florence, in Firenze. There we go, bam. Very cool, very cool. May 23rd, 2024. Galileo. Coming back home, Jagger at 30,000 feet. Lufthansa sketch. Here we are again. Other little studies. I went back and started drawing these donkeys and roosters, and then all of a sudden I saw a Mick Jagger photo in my photos and started drawing Mick, trying to get the gesture, the main gesture of why Mick is Mick. Makes sense? Again, these are little studies, again, going back to the nose of a horse, the feet of the horse. These are little kids submersed in water. Very, very cool. I like the little donkey. Again, I like this bird. So little things like this you want to remember about what you're doing and come back and see if they have any life in them. These are other little studies. Again, all of my studies are connected into places I'm going. Let's say I'm going to go into a show next year. Somebody invites me to do this or that. Or I just know that there's a show coming out that I think is cool. This is where these things come from. Now, I don't think I posted any of this on social media. But again, I'm just thinking. I'm just having these moments with myself, basically, in my sketchbooks. And again, now I'm in Boise, January 19th, 2025, at my daughter's house and my son-in-law's with my two little precious little granddaughters, Janie and Sylvia. And that's it. That's the end of the sketchbook. Oh, wait, one more. I think on the way back. So here's Zach, my son-in-law. He looks like a mafioso dude. Again, just having fun, right? That, my friends, is it. So that, my friends, is my very first sketchbook tour. More to come. If you like this, subscribe, hit the like button. Thank you guys so much. Thank you all. Thanks for all the love. We'll see you soon. Bye.